Let's talk about written buyer agreements, why they exist, and what they mean for you as a home buyer. So if you're in the process of buying a home and working with a real estate agent who's a realtor, as of August 17, 2024, you'll be asked to sign one of these agreements before moving forward. It's not just a formality anymore. It's designed to protect you and make sure everyone's on the same page. The reason and the point of this video is to let home buyers know the power they have as well as their responsibility. I'll sum things up in the simplest terms I can come up with at the end of this video. So let's break things down into clear, digestible parts. A written buyer agreement is pretty straightforward. It's an official agreement between you and your real estate professional that outlines, number one, what services they'll provide, basically what you can expect from them. Number two, what they'll be paid for those services so there's no surprises later on. That's it in a nutshell. It sets the tone for a professional relationship that's transparent from the start. So, you might be wondering why the sudden requirement. This change is part of a settlement proposed by the National Association of Realtors to address litigation around broker commissions. It's a way to ensure that compensation for real estate professionals is laid out clearly and agreed upon by both parties. And while this may feel new, I've heard some states have required these agreements for years. So for some of you, it may be business as usual, while others are encountering this for the first time. Now here's something important to remember. These agreements are negotiable. That's right. You have the power to negotiate the terms that suit you. This includes the services provided, how long the agreement lasts, and, of course, the compensation. Whatever you agree on should be clear and specific in the contract. No vague terms, no ranges. The key takeaway here is to only sign when you're comfortable. You're entering into a professional relationship, and both sides should feel good about it. Okay, so what's in it for you? Why should you care about this written agreement? First off, it lays everything out clearly, what your agent will do, how much it'll cost, what the expectations are from the beginning. It reduces confusion and miscommunication. Think of it as setting the foundation for a smooth transaction. With everything in writing, you'll avoid surprises down the road. You'll need to sign this agreement before you go on any home tours, whether in person or virtually. Now, this doesn't mean you're signing your life away just by asking a question or dropping by an open house. You can still explore your options, ask about an agent's services, or even visit open houses on your own. There's no agreement for that required. But the moment you're ready to take the next step forward and work with that agent to find your home, that's when the written buyer agreement comes into play. So here's where a lot of people have questions. Does signing this agreement mean you're paying your real estate professional directly out of your pocket? Well, not necessarily. While the agreement outlines how your agent will be compensated, you can still negotiate with the seller or the seller's agent for them to cover your agent's commission. So you're not locked into paying the cost that's stated in the agreement. The written buyer agreement doesn't dictate how you and your agent work together. You can structure your relationship however it fits under your state laws. Whether it's a full service agreement where your agent handles everything or a limited service arrangement where they help with specific parts, it's all your call. Can you amend or exit the agreement? Absolutely. These agreements are not set in stone. You can change the terms or even exit the agreement if both sides agree. Just make sure to read the fine print because there could be specific conditions on how and when those changes can be made. It's always a good idea to talk to your agent about this up front. By the way, if you're thinking of buying a home and you need an expert in your corner in some other part of the country or the state, let me know. Send me a text or an email. I'm part of a network of real estate professionals across the country, and I'd love to help you. Written buyer agreements are all about clarity. They protect you and your agent by making sure everything is clear from the start. No hidden fees, no vague expectations, just a transparent agreement that outlines how the relationship works. The simplest way I can explain some of the changes specifically addressing the commissions caused by the NAR settlement are this. In the past, when you bought a home, the seller typically paid the commission for both agents. The buyer didn't directly pay for their own agent's help. For lack of a better term, it was built into the price of the home. Now, because of the settlement, it's more likely that you'll have the conversation about paying your buyer agent directly. And in those cases, where a seller won't cover the agent commission and you can't or won't cover it, you'll have to walk away from a house you wanted to buy. The idea is to make the process more transparent. You'll have more flexibility to negotiate their fee, but it means you'll need to budget for this cost along with your other home buying expenses if it's required in order for you to buy a particular home. If you're finding this information valuable and you want to stay up to date on the ever-changing real estate market, make sure to hit subscribe and tap that bell. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.